so that the direction of the picture is in the script. Everything is in the script.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt. I'm very happy to see you again for the Script Roundtable, the Script Awards Los Angeles. This is the 29th edition, going on 30. This is going to be a big milestone. And I have one guest today. And before we start with him, I wanted to tell you something, which is now the Script Award Los Angeles has a podcast. So any writer who's participated to the competition or not is allowed to contact the festival and ask to be on the podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, everywhere. And the podcast, just as these roundtables that we do with the participants, is designed and meant to be a promotion platform for the scriptwriters. As we discuss all the time, you have a script. It's pretty difficult to talk about it when the person you're talking to has not read the script. So everything we design with the Script Award Los Angeles, whether it's me or Chloe or any other moderator, we are trying to use that platform to give some flesh and bones to the work you do on the page. And the podcast created by the Script Award Los Angeles is another step into that direction to give the writers the opportunity to get some promotion and some exposure and to actually have the time to talk about the pitch, the script, what they created, what you created, and who you are and what led for you to be a script writer. That being said, check the website. You'll find all the details and the contact information. I am here today to talk with Thaddeus. Thaddeus, welcome. How do you pronounce your first name? I'm French, so sometimes I don't know.
Yes, Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Yes,
okay.
Thaddeus.
I was not that
or
far
Thad,
off.
Thad for short. My friends call me Thad for short.
Okay, Thad. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to talk with you today.
You too.
Have a script that's called Clean As You Go, and you just won the Script Award Los Angeles for the series category. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Where are you calling from? Where are you based, and what's a little bit of your background?
I'm living in Sacramento, California. My wife is actually from here. I'm actually originally from Columbus, Georgia. I'm a son of two military parents. So, it's a long story. I moved to Atlanta not long ago. I served in the Air Force, and I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, probably in the late 2000s, and I went to culinary school, and that's kind of how I began my culinary career. I started working in a couple hotels and sandwich shops, and that's where I met my wife, actually, at the hotel. It's called the Glen. It's downtown Atlanta. It's very a boutique, and that's kind of where my culinary journey began. And then we got married, and we moved to California in the 2016s, and then the pandemic happened, and then that's kind of when I started my writing career, because I had a lot of time of solitude. And that's
the script, it is set in the kitchen, correct?
Yes, it is. It is. It's based off of my experiences, almost 20 years now of cooking, and just some of the people I've met, and some of the up and downs, and just the mental aspect of it is really kind of what this script is about. Just how to deal with mental health and the pressure of the kitchen, and just the tropes, the ups and downs, the temptations is a big thing.
Temptations.
Yes, so many
food?
Temptations. Oh, food and drugs, everything you can name. Just how to navigate that. And some people, I've seen so many friends that have kind of fall by the wayside of those temptations and getting sucked up into that lifestyle and just not able to come back. So that was kind of where I was inspired from. It was just that sorrow almost, and the pain of that.
You just dropped a ton of information on me. Let me reframe a little bit. I've seen a ton of movies about chefs, people in the kitchen, documentaries. I'm an avid documentary viewer, watcher. So what was your experience working in these environments? And how did these experience inspire you to write a script? So that's kind of a twofold question: real life experience, and gosh, I had to make a script out of this.
Oh yeah, real life experience I had. You know what? My first half of my career, I had no children, and it was very joyous. I was still in my 20s and early 30s, and I was, I could live that almost rock star lifestyle, sleeping in late, partying all night, and go to work, and burn through the day. And then, I had my daughter, and it kind of all changed. And I would go, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't be drinking early in the morning. Maybe I shouldn't
Yeah.
be stoned all day, and all these party things started to catch up with me. And that's kind of where was the first time I looked at myself and going, okay, where am I going with this? Where does this lead? And and my body started to talk to me as well. I started to feel the pain of just the late nights and the aches, not eating bad food, very, very rich foods, lots of
Yep.
chefs love butter. So,
It's good. It's
yeah,
good. What do you want
you
to
love
do?
butter, you love you're parked next to a deep fryer all the time. So you're just popping French fry, it's accessible to you. And then drinking just nonstop, and it catches up to you at some point. And like I said, that the pandemic happened in 2020, and that was the first time I was able to take a break because there was no restaurants, there was nothing open in California, and it was closed for months.
Interesting.
So yeah, and that was the first time I kind of had to do a introspection look at myself. I had to look inside myself and go, "Hey, man, this is a time to think about. Maybe I should, make this better decisions." And I had got very artistic at the time. Like I said, there was nothing open in California for at least months. It was
Yep.
except for
I
grocery
remember.
stores. It was grocery stores and hospitals, and everything else was closed. So as a child, I was very into film and television, and I just loved Hollywood movies, and I loved, everything about the film and television writing. So I kind of touched my inner child almost, and I started writing again. And I always had a kind of obsession with film, like a useless knowledge. And my wife was like, you know what, you should go back to school for it or do something. And I was just like, really?
Don't say it's useless knowledge. I don't
Yeah,
think it
yeah, no,
is.
but I thought it was like, you never go to a party and go, hey, you've seen film noir? Like, it's not a party opener. Like, no one, it's not really as popular to just
Yeah.
let everyone. So I kind of kept it to myself, and it was like a passion of mine. Like I said, I started writing, and eventually that led to me taking film classes, and then I ended up going back to school at Sac State, and for film and television production. And that's when I really started to hone in and writing scripts, screenwriting, and that's when Clean as You Go took shape.
Let me
I'm sorry, I
rewind a
got my
bit.
cat here. My cat's curious.
Good. Let me rewind. So
Sorry,
you said
buddies.
it was a mix of different factors. The fact that family things, you realizing that you needed a more healthy lifestyle,
Hmm.
and COVID, boom, suddenly you have time. And then let's make some of that useless knowledge and some of that passion, let's make it into something creative.
Right.
So you could have written, I don't know, an epic movie about pirates or anything else, or drama, whatever, about drugs, anything.
Mhm.
But you still decided to make it about what's happening in the kitchen, in
Right.
that backstage area where the food is prepared.
I
So
did.
was there an anecdote or an experience or a feeling, something that you you remember that led you to think that could be cinematic,
Oh,
that could
for
become a
sure.
script?
Great question. Because a couple of instances. First, the amount of celebrities that you would meet, it always felt like, man, this is like a dream, a movie. I met DMX. He passed a long time ago, but DMX. I met Brad Pitt. Just through the celebrities that you meet through the kitchen is crazy. And then the first time I ever seen someone do drugs was in the kitchen, and I remember, so yeah, I seen someone do cocaine on the kitchen table, a chef, and I'd never seen cocaine in my life before. I was a weed guy. I was a
Not
pot
very.
guy.
I'm not sure the health department would be
Yeah,
happy with that.
exactly. It was the crazy things, and that was one of those things where I go, if I tell someone this, they'd never believe it. So I was like, you know what, that'd be great in like a movie or a show or something. So that was kind of like the first thing I was like, you know
Hey,
what, this could be kind of cinematic a little bit. It's kind of crazy
yeah.
story, no one will believe, but it actually happened. And that was like one of the first things there. But it's like, yeah, the interactions you have, the you see how what food does to people, and good and bad. I've seen the worst. It brings the worst out of people when people are hangry. So I've seen that. So I was like, that would be great in the show. And I think that was kind of like that, and the mental health aspect is kind of where that idea of clean as you go, and also clean is called clean as you go because most chefs are neat freaks. So they're just kind of cleaning constantly. And that's one of the themes of the show that I have is that he's always cleaning. Even when he's all messed up, he's always cleaning something other
Yeah,
than
it says
himself.
something about the way you're organized or not, and also the way you want to get rid of anything that's in the way, kind of. I
Yes.
think it's an interesting angle on the psychology of the
Yes.
chefs. That
No,
kind of a OCD thing.
it definitely is OCD, and you always gotta have, that was one of the things I kind of always felt back comfort when I was in the kitchen was like, man, everything's a chaos. When you go to a kitchen, it's very sensory overloaded, sounds and things burning you, you're getting cut. It's very overload of it. So sometimes you have to draw back, and that's when I started to go, you know what, this could be great for writing or something story. It'd be very, very. It's a very dark comedy. I want it to be comedy. I want because there's a lot of laughs in there. I don't want it to just be pain, but because I did laugh a lot. It wasn't all bad. I was just saying the bad parts make you, look past that and go, what's else other than this part. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the start.
So it's a series format. So it's
Right.
about 30 pages, so half an
Yes.
hour of a show.
Yes.
As you described, it's closer to a sitcom format, which is usually 20 minutes, kind of a comedy format. Schitt's Creek, Running Point on Netflix.
Right.
These are the shorter ones. The dramas usually are more like a 45, 52. It used to be 52 on TV. It's more flexible now. So that comedy aspect. Do you want to expand on it a bit?
Well, again, I was taking it as comedy when I wrote it because I thought it was funny to me. Eyes and behold, I guess. So it's up to the audience to know if it's funny or not. But I also was a big fan of HBO shows and shows like Weeds and those short shows that can hit you real quick and then get out. So I was kind of in that frame where I can go, I can write like 6 to 12 episodes and have an arc and just it starts. The pilot is just the worst day of his life, pretty much. And then there's a carrot at the end of the episode because I don't want to ruin it, but it kind of brings it all back up. Go, hey, for all this bad, here's this good thing. What are you going to do with it next? And that's kind of how I end the pilot with the after all the bad that happens in the day, he keeps going, and that's another thing I wanted to just to keep going. That's what I always did. I never gave up on anything in life, so I just kept reinventing myself, and then you'll see how the chef reinvents himself as the series goes on with the next few episodes.
So how many episodes do you write?
Right now I have 3 episodes that I have written that's finished. But I wanted to be like a 6 episode, closer to like a BBC type of short season because I wanted it to be impactful. I didn't want it to just be going on and on and on because it can easily
kind
get
of
away from
a limited series.
Right.
Okay. Back to the film classes. You explained to me. You mentioned that you went to take some film class. What did you learn, and how did that inform you about how to write a script or how to tell a story?
So I'm still learning because I'm still probably about 7 classes away from my bachelor's. So I'm taking film and television production at Sac State, and I love the filming aspect. I love the visuals, but honing my writing class, that was probably my favorite part because I wrote a script before Clean as You Go called King of the Road. And it's about a truck driver's another life that I went through, but I kind of honed that skill through my screenwriting class and learning about character development, plot, subtext, how to, leave enough for the audience wanting more without pushing them away. And so, that's kind of where I kind of got that first, I guess, expertise, for writing screenplays through classes and stuff like that. So, and then I'm still doing film production. I shot a couple of YouTube shorts that I have on my channel. So I'm learning. I say I'm new to the world. I've been a chef for most of my life in the military. So this is like the new experience for me in the last 6 years since the pandemic.
Are you still a chef right now?
Yes, I am. I actually teach at a private school here in Northern California. And then also I'm a private chef too. So I have a couple clients that I still cook for. It's hard to walk away from the money.
Yeah, I guess.
I
Yeah,
got enough experience
everybody
now.
needs something on the side to make it happen.
Yeah.
Definitely. What about your military parents? You said both of your parents were in the military.
Yes,
So
both my parents were in the Army.
Did you travel a lot? Did you follow them? Did you stay at home? What was the situation there?
So actually, we moved about every 3 years since I was probably 2 years old. I spent about total of 7 years living in Germany. And then we lived across the states. And then my dad actually retired for Georgia. We're from Georgia. Both of my parents from Georgia. And he retired in 1997. And then I went into the Air Force right after high school. So I kind of was just like, oh, this is my life. I'm going to be in the military. But I was disciplined enough, but I knew it was an end. I was like, okay, I'm tired of like having to wake up when you tell me to wake up. I knew I guess I was a chef back then. I was already leaning towards being a chef, but I came from a very disciplined background. My parents, who's still alive and great, they taught me a lot. They definitely taught me how to be a good man and all that. So it was one of those things where you experienced living life, and that's where I kind of developed my palate, because we traveled a lot as a kid, and like I said, living in all places. And I spent time in Saudi Arabia. I was in Turkey for a little while, and in Korea. And I think Turkey was where I kind of knew I was going to be a chef. Like, it was kind of like, that's when I started like watching the Food Network, and I was just like getting close to getting out. I was just like, what is next? Always, film and television was always my love, though. Yeah, and it's pretty my number one hobby. Even over food, like film and television is where it's at.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you seen the TV show The Bear?
Yes, I have not seen. I know of it. Obviously, it's a hugely popular show. I have never watched it because it just makes me like, I've seen the clips that I've seen. It's like, it's very realistic. So it gives me I get a little hypervent. It gets me a little nervous. So I've never watched it because it's too much like work. So I've never actually watched the whole episode.
The pace of it, the way it's made, it makes you on the edge. It's kind of a hard watch to me, because it's a lot to take in, and usually, it's a very successful show, so it's fine.
Absolutely.
They have the success anyway. But I'm looking more for shows to unwind and relax than this one is especially demanding.
Yeah, no, I definitely, like I said, I didn't want to be like I was trying to be like the Bear, which again, it's a brilliant show. Everything I've seen about it looks brilliant. I just I wanted to do my own thing, and my experience, my lived-in experience, as say, as a writer, I wanted to show that over that. So I've never I will maybe watch it one day. But again, it makes me nervous just to watch sometimes some of the clips, and just like, man, this makes me think about work. Like, I start sweating, and I was like, I don't know, I'm going to turn this off. Sorry, I can't do it.
You said you were new to the industry, to the movies and the writing and all of that.
Yes.
How do you approach having a script? Because you have a few episodes ready to give away, ready to give to people to read. Have you tried to approach producers, contacts? Have you tried to get some feedback from film festivals, script competitions? How do you work in that? How do you navigate it?
So this is my second screenplay that I've written. The first one, like I said, King of the Road, which is I've probably bit off more than I can chew with it, because I'm still writing it, and it could be a series or even a movie, a feature. But where did I get that? I don't know. I think I don't know. I think that King in the Road for me is where the first time I was like, I put something on paper actually, and that's kind of, it was like a brainstorm session for me. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I've been mumbling here. I'm stumbling, but I think
it makes sense. I mean, it's a difficult industry to get into.
Yeah.
So definitely having a script already written. That you could handle to someone, you're already in like the top 20% of people, because a lot of people are going to talk about it. But when you want to read it, if you are lucky enough to find someone who wants to read it, you have to jump on the chance. And some people don't have it. Oh, it's just an idea. I haven't written it yet.
Yeah. And no,
Then you're just wasting everybody's time and wasting a contact, because if someone wants to read what you did, you have to give it to them.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still in the brainstorming, writing. I haven't really thought about the selling aspect yet, because I have so many stories that I have. Like I'm actually working on a Western as well, so I have like 3 or 4 stories in my mind right now. So I really do want to, present it to people like Clean As You Go. I would love people to watch it and see it, but I'm also creating at the same time. So it's hard to juggle the selling act, and I want it to be good though before I put it out. And I feel like Clean As You Go and like I said before, King of the Road is actually 2 things that I could put out now, and I will definitely continue to advertise them and all that too.
So what do you think is going to be the next step for you? Do you want to keep focusing on these 2 that you have, or do you want to start writing another one and keep expanding your skills?
You know what? I do want to write another one. I had kind of had the itch to get out of the world of the kitchen, because I've been writing Clean As You Go for this past year. So I've gotten to a point now. I'm like, I'm kind of looking for another story. But I actually got a couple stories that I've written, but I'm excited to get onto those too, because I wanted to make it happen. But I can easily go back into and still and deal with this world, the kitchen world. If I had to write some more episodes, because I do have a time frame that I've set up, and I would think it would be like 2 seasons, and then I'd be out. I don't want to just keep writing and writing and writing. I want it to be good, and then I have a Sopranos ending, which I love Sopranos, but I just felt like it felt a little, or Game of Thrones for more recently, people who haven't seen, just that it felt like very unfinished. I want mine to be like, oh, okay, good, you went out like Breaking Bad, almost like Breaking Bad. If I could go like Breaking Bad,
to finish the loop, to complete the arc, and leave people with a real sense of, oh yeah, that's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Love the energy, love the idea, and I think definitely, I know that kitchen, anything happening in the kitchen and in the culinary world is going to find some space and some place on TV and on screen. So definitely keep going at doing that, because you have the real world experience with a lot of fun stuff and kind of incredible stuff that happened along the way.
Yeah.
So having a script that kind of captures all of that is something that, if it stands out in real life, it's going to stand out on the script. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
So that the direction of the picture is in the script. Everything is in the script.